Do I need to go live on Instagram?
Oh, yeah.
And
Or leave it open?
no, you can close it if you want. It didn't bother me.
Is anybody on? Besides you?
Annette.
Good morning, Annette.
Good morning, Auntie.
Turn it down because it's going to start echoing really bad.
Annette. Just want to say sorry we're late. We're about almost 30 minutes late. I had a accident. I actually spilt my coffee, and to that I owe to COVID-19. Hi, April.
Good morning.
Good
Trying to see
morning.
all this fancy technology. How's everybody doing this morning?
Morning, guys. Welcome. I'm so glad that we're going live again. Let me just say that I normally go at 7:30, but I had an accident and we had to do, it was a wardrobe malfunction. No, sorry, coffee malfunction, and my Scooby snacks got in the way, and I actually knocked everything over. So to that, I want to start off with some thank yous. And if you've ever seen Jimmy Fallon, you already know that he writes thank you notices all the time. So I'm going to start with that, okay? And this first one goes to COVID-19. You have to hit it sideways.
I know, but I'm not.
One moment. Technical difficulties.
I'm not turned down.
And I actually knocked everything over. So to that, I want to start off with some thank yous.
Cool. She knows what she's doing over here. I didn't know what to do. This is what happens when you've got a full-on production with two people at 7 o'clock in the morning getting ready, and
It's 8 o'clock. Don't use the 7 o'clock card.
no, 7 o'clock is when we got going. Very slowly going. Super slowly going.
Okay. Anyway, so with that, let me say thank you to COVID-19 for expanding my waistline. Thank you, U.S. government, for keeping me late night shopping. Thank you, Facebook, for occupying the other half of my day. I could write many more of those if you wanted me to, but I just wanted to say a lot of things have happened. My waistline has grown. I need to social distance from the refrigerator. I need to go to sleep when I'm supposed to. And really, honestly, this morning we're just late because of the coffee spill. Thankfully, the laptop is still intact. My coffee went everywhere, and my Scooby snacks are still alive. Look, they're literally Scooby snacks. Isn't that awesome? So, anyway, welcome. So we're going to talk today about the new normal. What is normal anymore? Nothing. Nothing is normal anymore. Everything is different. Morning, Tim.
Morning, sir. Tim was doing a survey with his students.
That was pretty ingenious.
And I realized my friend that lives in Hays, Kansas, I don't know absolutely nothing about his style or what his favorite stuff. I know him, but I don't know him like his favorite jerseys, Jordans. Sorry, Tim, I suck.
That was, so guys, that was a really good survey that he did for his peoples, and he was just asking them what's his favorite jersey, what shoe size does he wear, things like that. And that's so funny that he would even post that, because I myself were talking to my husband a couple of weeks ago about I was talking to him about that I don't know his favorite color. I think it's black, because he wears everything black.
This is gray today, thank you very much.
Black, gray, and white. Those are his favorite colors.
Well, I was buying it. What happened was, a couple of months back, I was buying a shirt.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Can you get a different color than black with the get the design, but a different color of T-shirt?"
Yeah.
And I thought, well, looks good on this black. This design looks really good on black. And she's like, "Well, all your shirts that you have are black." And I'm like, "Man, no, they're not." So I got a different color shirt to prove a point.
Yeah.
We got home, put it in my closet, and all my shirts were black.
So I won.
So she won.
Because I was right. And what do I always say? You're not
I'm
always right. You're not always right. You're not always right.
I was wrong one time.
And
Twice.
3 times the lady?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so we're talking about the new normal, and the only reason I say that is because I should have put on Instagram last night that we were going live at 7:30ish, because thank you.
7:30ish.
April said I am right. Sorry, Pastor Salva.
Yeah.
I should write another thank you to COVID-19 for not having a correct bedtime, or all of our days and hours all mixed up. Right?
For real.
Right. So we're like, thank you, COVID-19, for messing up my sleep schedule. I never know what time to get up.
What time to go to bed?
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah.
Man.
Constantly watching movies, and or when we finally do settle down and we get to watching something, you keep watching and watching and watching. So
binging on accident.
Yeah, I don't know about accident, but anyway. And I will say, yes, you see my new gift. Remember last week I talked about the little hair clips that my granddaughter gave me. Got another one from my other granddaughter here. The coolest watch ever. You press the button and it lights up. Look at that. Look at these guys. They have the best gadgets ever. I just want to say that.
Apologize for last week, losing everybody on
on YouTube.
YouTube, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Crash and failed.
Yeah, it was badly. Anyway, so let's focus on
New
the new
normal.
normal. So
New
we don't
normal
keep them
today,
too
this
long.
morning.
Yeah, we won't keep you an hour like we did last Wednesday. Was it an hour?
Yeah, it was an hour.
Yeah, it was an hour. So, but we just want to talk about the new normal for a little bit. The new normal is really like, first of all, what is normal to anybody? Normal is like, really, everybody's normal is different anyway.
Yeah.
Some people get up at 5 and that's a normal for them. Their body is just made like that. My aunt says that all the time. But some people are used to sleeping till 10. Anyway, and
I gotta adjust my seat. Go ahead.
okay. And I was gonna say open the window, but
Open the window.
yeah. But anyway, so the new normal for everybody is very different, because not even the new normal, just the normal period. Maybe you're used to getting up early. Maybe you're used to having coffee first before you talk to anybody. That's my sister. Maybe you're used to, getting up and taking a walk around the neighborhood or walking downtown and back. And that may not be the normal anymore. But whatever it is, your pattern might have changed because of the COVID-19 or stay in shelter in place.
Shelter in place.
Shelter in place.
We get
word.
delivered Friday.
We get delivered. Let my people go. Right.
We get delivered Friday for a test run, a 2-week test run.
Yeah, a 2-week test run, and I'm pretty excited about it, because not that I haven't been going to the stores, and not that I haven't been doing anything, but it's really difficult to go into a store and see people with masks and get in the line. Again, that's our new normal, but it's very awkward to see that. I almost feel like some of the new normal for people would make them feel like we're in apocalyptic times. And I know I always say that because I love dreaming about apocalyptic times, and I love talking about it.
You too much TV.
No, not at all. Not at all. It reminds me of Jesus's return for me. So it has nothing to do with TV for me. It has to be exciting to me, and it just reminds me of some things that are happening. So I get excited.
I think when you talk about the new normal, I think it's going to be. I know, like for us, Texas is. We're getting ready to. They're going to end their. Was it
Shelter in place.
Shelter in place ends Friday, but I think. I think people are going to still be a little leery. I think there was a lot of. For some folks, that's not for everybody, but I think for some folks there was a lot of fear that was instilled in folks. So I don't think everybody's going to go back to normal.
Again, we're with the new normal.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're not going to go back to normal. Like they're going to be
to their past
the way they
normal.
did things before.
Yeah,
you know, like they're not. I think just the people getting out to go to the stores and do things, even though they're open up some retail spots and stuff like that. I don't think that we're going to see I think you'll see a small jump in people that are being out, but I don't think you're going to have just like everybody going out.
They're opening movie theaters.
But I don't think everybody's going to go just out of fear. I think just people are like, man,
and I want to say
I ain't trying to get no COVID, right? Like, they just, I think that's just the general, my thought is that the general population is probably not going to just bum rush all the retail shops and the movie theaters and everything that's opening up. I don't think that's going to happen. Now, if the governor would have opened up the barber shops and beauty salons, the lines would have been wrapped around the door because everybody got that rough looking long hair and need a pedi.
I mean, I got a bowl. I can cut some hair. Yeah. We need somebody. Somebody needs some medi pedis.
I don't think.
Right about now.
I don't think folks are gonna. I don't really think people are gonna go back to what they normally did. I think.
So is this the new normal,
Yeah.
or are they operating in fear? Because I want to say,
I think it's both.
I'm not operating in fear. I'm operating, and honestly, this is what I wanted this podcast to be, was about wisdom, because somebody said that, well, brother, you're just scared or you're operating in fear. No, I'm operating in wisdom. Even before that, we have a new baby, that we have to think about.
In the family.
Yeah, and we have to think about that. And even with our elderly folks, they're susceptible to anything. It's not just COVID-19.
Yeah.
People with cancer, they can't be around people who have colds and things like that.
Yeah, and that's what I think some of that is. I think it's just it has brought a heightened awareness of being sick and transmitting colds and flus, but I think I feel like there's just a certain level of, I'm not saying not wisdom, but I'm just saying there's a certain level of fear that's been projected to the point that people, it's now in their subconscious. Now they're thinking about getting sick and death, and just the way that media has played it up, social media has played it up. Then you have the other aspect where folks are not a big deal, and so just because of that, I think that's going to create
a new normal.
Yeah, people are not going to do. I think it's going to take probably about 6 months to a year before people actually are next to each other in line. that it's going to take a long time from that 6 foot distancing to actually turn into, would you quit bumping me?
Well, again, habits are formed that way. Habits are something that we do not 21 days. I mean, it takes 21 days to form a habit, but for it to stick, you have to do it for
another 15 days.
Yeah, another 15 days. So
you're talking about a full month almost.
Which we have been doing that. We've been doing all the social distancing and things like that. So it is going to take us a while to go back to our back normal. And this normal now is our new normal, and I only talk about it because somebody said, I can't wait to get back to normal. But what is the normal now?
Yeah, it's not even
You know,
gonna
our brains are already, taking on this new normal, or this new way of life, washing your hands more than, quickly rinsing and then that type of thing.
that's what I'm saying. Like, for me, just being a guy, and if you're guys watching, y'all know this. I don't know how it is in the women's restroom, but I mean, I don't know how many times I've gone to the restroom and guys will walk in, use the restroom, and walk out. Like, they don't even wash their hands, and you're like,
They should put hand
oh my
sanitizer in the
gosh.
bathrooms.
You know. So for me, I'm just like, folks is just dirty in general.
Yeah.
I mean, like, just in general, people are not very clean all the
Okay,
time.
wait a minute. Thank you, COVID-19, for teaching guys how to wash their hands.
For real, So I think it's going to be to try to get back to what normal is, or was, I should say. I think it's going to take a little time, because we've literally, in my opinion, I feel like we've gotten programmed already. Like you said,
Deprogrammed.
no, we've gotten programmed.
Program now.
We have gotten programmed to be thinking more along the lines of a sickness or a virus that can cause death. So there's that it's kind of like when all this first started happening. It's psychologically, everybody starts coughing, everybody starts sniffling. You're like, you don't cough at all, or when you did, you didn't think about it, and all of a sudden now you're coughing, you're sneezing, all these symptoms that they said that you had, or that could possibly be the virus. You immediately start thinking about that. You're like, oh my gosh, I got a cough. Am I sick? Right?
You can't cough around anyone.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what's happened, is that it's been brought to the forefront so much of our consciousness, that now we're thinking about it. So if somebody sneezes across the room, we don't think, oh, they have allergies or they got a booger stuck up their nose. We're thinking, oh my God, they got COVID, right? And somebody coughs for whatever reason, and we're thinking COVID. Somebody has sleep in their eye and they're rubbing their eye, like COVID. Like, you're like, you guys are disgusting. You're touching your nose, your eyes, and your mouth. Like, man, I've been doing that for so long. Like,
yeah, but so was this an evil ploy to brainwash us into thinking to wash our hands?
CDC, like America
America they're just dirty. We just
They
need to train
clean
them
up.
right. No, I'm just kidding. And in all,
really, that's really what's going on.
Yeah. What's really going on?
Need to get everybody to clean.
Yeah.
Wash their hands.
Right. I think it just made me think of that, because I don't know. I was going to bed last night and I was like, thank you, COVID-19, for teaching me to go to sleep at all wrong hours. And then what did I say? Thank you, America, for giving me a stimulus check so I can be at home and be lazy. Right? I mean, and it's all these things are going through my mind. What's normal? What's not? How can we, I don't know. How do we live in this new normal? And again, it's just about basing it on routines and, just listening to people who are still out there and living their normal life, going to work every day. But that's not normal for them either. They're having to take their clothes off when they, before they enter their house, their shoes off, and Lysoling their cars and themselves and things. And we don't think about any of that when we're going to the stores, And I don't know.
I think.
And I hear both sides, though. I hear people fearful, and then I hear people that are, being wise about it, but people that are like, there's nothing changed for me. I'm still going to work,
Yeah, and I think with the new normal is I really don't think it's going to happen overnight. It took 40 plus days to get people to think different, behave different, do things different, and for the new normal, I think it's going to change to the point where they're going to just subconsciously be doing this because of 2020, right? March 2020, and so I don't think that people will behave the same way. When it's going to take a while. I mean, just when we had the whole situation with 9/11 and different types of things, it changed the country.
Yeah.
and so the behavior changed, and so how they thought about things.
Was it the line through the airports and all of that? What's that called?
Yeah. I don't know. I knew before you said it.
I'm sorry.
So when you have something that affects not just a small community, but when it's national or even global, it changes how people function on a day-to-day basis. And I feel like that's what's happened, is that everything's changed to the point where nobody's ever going to go back to bumping each other in line. Like your personal space is literally grown to about right now they're saying 6 feet, but when in about 7 or 8 months, it's probably going to be about 3 feet. We'll never probably get really closer than that.
We don't in churches already. Oh, no. I have to have a space between me and somebody else. So
this is true. Most people
Christians were already doing social distancing.
Yeah.
Okay, some. Because they do hug, and then they go back to their little spot.
Their spot, right.
Yeah.
They, it's funny because in America, we like our space.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
That's true.
In America, we like our space until somebody tells us that we have to give you space. And as soon as they tell you have to give you space, well,
come on.
I want to be close. Why do we have to be spread apart?
Oh, yeah.
But when you go to a movie theater, you never sit next to the person, right?
Well, you do if it's a movie you want to see.
Right? That's the only time that it's really crowded. Is like it's a movie that everybody wants to see. But when you think about like you said in churches or in movies, there's always a seat or two between everybody, right? And so I think just the being, I keep saying it, but just the new normal is we're not going to do this. We're not going to behave the same way that we were behaving before. You know, you're not. I don't think necessarily that when the restaurants open up that people are going to be
flock.
Well, they're not going to be interested in sitting right next to each other. You know, they're gonna give a table or two in between.
I'm sorry, I thought of myself.
You know, so. But I think it's changed our perspective and our behavior. Literally, like
I don't know that it. That's why I'm laughing, because I don't know that it really changed mine. I go to the store, and if somebody gets like close to me, I'm like, mind your space. Aren't you supposed to be 6 inches away from me?
6 feet.
6 feet, you're in my breath, you know, or whatever. And even if, and I look for the little lines on the floor, because I'm like, you're by me, you know, because I like my space either way. So I don't know that it really changed me. So I'm just kind of like, you know, I mean, I was wiping the baskets before. I carry hand sanitizer. I wash my hands to ABC. And I'm not really a big movie person. You are.
Yeah.
So that kind of didn't affect me either. I mean, I miss my friends. I miss my church family. That's it. I
mean,
that's what some people are saying, is that their normal has stayed the same. Or for introverts, it's still the same anyway. You know, and then
introverts have been in heaven for the last 40 days.
Yeah, well, no, we don't. Everybody is invading our space. That's why I freak out when everybody's in the living room. I'm like, I just want to clean. Can everybody just go to quiet time? You know, type thing.
That's funny.
But I wanted to talk about the new normal, because for me, other than everybody invading my space, nothing has really changed other than me not going to work. You know.
Yeah. And I think that's gonna be the fun part, right? Is getting back to work, like people going back to work.
I'm ready to go back to work.
Because I think, well, just even going to work is not going to be the same, right? Like
that's true.
Going to work is going to be different. You know, like literally every aspect of our life is going to be different. Even though we may not even feel like it's changed much, but the interaction within the community, interaction within the church, interaction within family, you know, people that you haven't seen physically in the last 40 days, your first encounter with them is going to be a little awkward.
It already was.
You know, like I saw a cousin. I saw a cousin the other day in the parking lot, and I was just going to shake his hand, and he was like, elbow. And I was like, okay. Like, it didn't bother me, but that's what I'm saying, is like it's gonna be.
Well, I always ask.
It's gonna be different.
I asked. Like, I saw a friend at Sam's, and I hadn't seen her in a while, and we just kind of stood there. Hi. And I was like,
That's
can I hug you? And she was like, yes, yes.
and that's what I'm saying is that you never asked that before. It wasn't like you
Yeah.
didn't think that before.
Yeah.
You're just like, hey, what's up? You know, shake hands or whatever. And now you're like, do I really know you?
Well, like the mailman, you know, it's sad that my visitors have become the mailman and the Amazon guy, you know, but
Glad you stopped by today.
yeah, the
Appreciate you
mailman.
coming by.
The mailman came and it was really hot, so I went and got a body armor and I was like, can you have that from me? And he was like, yeah, I can. And I was like, what was his
as he
hesitation?
sanitizes it.
Yeah, I was like, what was his hesitation? I'm good, you know, type thing. But at the same time, the Amazon guy came and I said, would you like for me to go back into the house so you can lay the package on the porch? Or do you need me to sign for it? And then it made him think about it. And I'm like, Mia, don't say anything. Just embrace him, you know. Oh my God, I'm so glad you came. You know, type thing. But
Here comes the mailman.
yeah. Everybody, the mailman's here, run to the door.
Right.
You know.
Wave at your visitors.
Or clap, you know, clap for them. He's a hero.
Yeah.
You know, they're heroes, the Amazon and the...
Oh, for sure, they're heroes. They're probably the biggest heroes.
Says the man who needed a remote because he lost his remote that pushes a button to put his Xbox, not Xbox, Netflix and YouTube button.
Some of us we're used to the greater things in life. What can I say? Some of us have those important issues.
For you, you don't watch TV much, so
I don't.
That really was a lifesaver.
It was actually frustrating.
It really was, because you couldn't change any channel except for TV, and then the jank smart TVs, Netflix so-called link that was on there, and it was seriously jank. So,
Yeah, well, it's just because it was running so slow.
yeah, you were like,
I was used to just going Voodoo.
loading.
I was used to going Netflix,
Yeah,
YouTube, Prime,
hair
like,
bothering me.
messed me up.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, so we don't know what your new normal is. We don't know what what habits that you formed or habits that you broke, or because this is a good time to change your new normal while you're here. Maybe you're sleeping in, maybe you're getting more sleep than you were before, maybe you're actually smelling the roses that you didn't before.
or maybe you're just regretting the fact that you got to go back to work and socialize with people.
We love you, Brooke. My daughter-in-law had to go back to work today, and she's like, I'm excited, but I don't know. And, she was on the fence, and that's kind of everybody.
Yeah,
and,
that's what I'm saying.
That'll
it's
be
different.
the new normal. That'll be
It's
the
just
new
different.
normal is, thinking in your head, what do I got to watch for? What do I, am I going to have to strip when I get home and wash my clothes and do whatever? That wasn't a normal thing before, but now it is, And just things are changing for everybody and in the way that everyone is going to do business. But that's what happens. When America is impacted by an epidemic, we change the way we think.
Well, it's not just epidemic, just situations.
Well,
just
pandemic.
yeah,
I'm sorry,
well,
not
just,
an epidemic. Well, I'm
whatever.
thinking of 911, and I'm thinking now,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this, things have changed, and so the way that we did things 25 years ago.
That's so
20
2019.
20 years ago is completely different than the way we do things now. Even if you go back 30, 40 years, so much has changed, and so we literally live different. We do things different because of situations that the United States has faced, or that communities have faced, or and so legislation has changed. Different things have been affected in the law in all these different areas, and so it makes us live different. And so it's just a matter of adjusting. And I personally don't think that it'll get 100% back to the way it was. I think it'll get close.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll get right back to where it was, because I think there's just a certain amount of fear that was I think it was just deep rooted into Americans, and so they're.
So is that how they this like that?
Here we go.
Because actually I wanted to do this as a controversial podcast, and I want to say, is that how they keep us in line, by keeping us in fear? And maybe that's how the devil does that, is he says, if I can keep you in fear, then I've got you right where I want you. And I can control you, and I can move you like a puppet and make you do the things I want you to do.
I
Is
don't
that
know.
another podcast?
That's another podcast, and I'd rather not get into all that right now because then you got a whole other bunch of stuff. I don't know how. When you talk about control, that's a whole other different issue, and now you got all the.
Well, I wasn't talking about Janet Jackson control.
I'm talking.
I meant.
You got all the what do you call those? Man, I can't think of what they're called.
I don't know. We'll save it for next time. We'll save it for next time. I crossed a boundary. I can tell. He's getting a little.
Well, no, it's
scary
just
there.
it's not scary. It's just
It's okay. We don't want it to be an hour.
No, you get super controversial. You get and you get in this whole mode of.
You mean you're going to get on your soapbox again and we're
No,
going to
not
go an hour?
necessarily soapbox. It's just that's a whole different conversation because now you're talking about conspiracies and you're talking about. all
No,
this
I
other stuff,
wasn't.
like-
I was talking about the devil controlling us. You know, it just made me think that those are parallel. No, I wasn't trying to.
Well, the devil uses fear
to call out the government.
The devil or the enemy, whatever terminology you want to use, Satan uses
Fear.
Uses fear to control and to manipulate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so from that perspective, yeah, I think it does happen. So
I like the way you answer.
anyway,
All right. So anyway, whatever your new normal is, make sure that you're, following the guidelines of the CDC, washing your hands. Guys, when you go to the bathroom, please wash your hands.
well, all I know is that my mom was around way before the CDC when she told me to wash my hands. Blow your nose.
Your mom is the CDC. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Anyway, work on your new normal. Add some new habits in there, not just the ones that are going to cause you to walk in fear, but the good ones that are going to help you make a better lifestyle for you, for your family, for the safety of others, and stay 6 feet back. I mean, we're all in this together. Isn't that what they say?
Oh man, so many commercials for me.
Stay home, stay safe, and
Buy a car online.
and shop online all night.
online.
No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. They tell you to be saving your money because you never know what you're going to need it for. All right? All right. Well, this was fun. This was real. So glad that we got to spend this time with you guys.
And we've actually made it through the whole podcast without hiccups, except for the beginning. Getting started.
Yeah. Because he didn't know how to work a non-smart TV. So we'll take us out like this. Thank you, CDC, for helping us to change our bad habits. We'll see you guys next
We'll talk
Wednesday.
to you guys later. We see y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, watching. We'll holler at y'all guys later.
Peace.
Peace out, homies. Let me save it to the story.